Hey everyone, so today I want to showcase the carbon fiber wheels that come equipped on the S550 GT500 with the carbon fiber track pack. Now these are the same wheels that were used on the 2021 GT500 with the carbon fiber handling package. However, those wheels were painted all black and you could not see the absolutely beautiful carbon fiber weave like you can on the track pack wheels. Now these wheels are made by Carbon Revolution, an amazing Australian company that has done quite a few wheels for Ford. They did the GT350R wheel and the Ford GT. They've gone on to do some wheels for some other companies like GM and Ferrari, but by far their partnership with Ford has been the largest, and it really helped bring them to be known as more of a mainstream brand than they were before. Now, as I said, the first set of wheels they did was with the GT350R, and at the time, Ford was a little concerned with them being able to not only do the weaves perfectly symmetrical, but also coat the wheel in a coating that would protect them from the sunlight. Because unfortunately, carbon fiber reacts with the ultraviolet light and tends to turn the carbon yellow over time. It's a very common problem with earlier cars that have exposed carbon fiber components. At this point, they had proved to Ford that they can make the wheels look absolutely beautiful and have them not yellow over time. So that's the main reason they decided to go with this absolutely beautiful, breathtaking exposed carbon fiber on these wheels. Now, this is considered their fourth generation wheel. They had done two for Ford, the 350R, the Ford GT. They also did a carbon fiber wheel for Ferrari for the 48 Pista, and this was considered their fourth generation. Now, they had learned a lot, obviously, doing this many wheels in a relatively short period of time, and they were able to refine their manufacturing process. And not only were they able to coat them in a coating that is able to keep the carbon fiber exposed, but they were able to reduce the weight of the wheels and use less carbon fiber without sacrificing strength on these wheels. Now these are a 20-inch wheel. The fronts are an 11-inch wide wheel and the rears are an 11.5 wheel. Now the wheels that came on the 350R are a 19-inch wheel. Now they stated that had they used the same production process, it would have added 5 pounds to the wheel going to an inch larger diameter. But because they refined the process, they were able to keep these wheels the exact same weight as the GT350R wheels are. These wheels are 17 pounds, incredibly lightweight. To put that into perspective, the stock alloy wheels that come on the base GT500 are 32 pounds. So not only are these wheels 15 pounds lighter, but they also help to reduce the static weight of the vehicle as well as the rotational weight. You lose 60 pounds of static weight and you lose a tremendous amount of rotational weight, especially at high speed, because that's less inertia spinning as the wheel picks up speed. So that's also less weight that the brakes have to shed when you want to stop. Now the wheels themselves are all carbon fiber. This is not a carbon fiber overlay. This is not just the look of carbon fiber. These are real deal carbon fiber wheels. The only metal on these wheels is they use basically sleeves here for the studs that also go around to the backside of the wheel, and they made up to this essentially aluminum hat that goes up against the face of the brake rotor. That is the only metal on these wheels because the carbon really can't deal with the pressure of having the lug nut torque pressure on them. So they basically put those sleeves there basically as an anti-crush washer. So you won't, even if you over torque them, you're not gonna crush the carbon fiber and crack it. But this is super light and these wheels are super stiff. You don't get the flex out of carbon fiber wheels that you get out of alloy wheels. So there is a major performance benefit to these beyond just the cosmetic. And cosmetically, you can tell these wheels are absolutely magnificent. Carbon Revolution did an absolutely stupendous job with these wheels. The weave looks absolutely perfect all the way around. There is a little bit of a break in the weave around the center section where the hub goes out to the spokes. They obviously had to break it somewhere to have the spokes go out, but the spokes are perfectly symmetrical all around the barrels. These things just look amazing. There's nothing else that has that presence like carbon fiber does. And it's the same thing on the back side of the wheel. They still have that carbon fiber look to them. There are sometimes you will find some imperfections on the back side, like right here's a little bit of an imperfection. Owners have reported that on other wheels. That's normal. To get that little imperfection on the back side, you don't really see it unless the wheel's pulled from the car, so that's considered acceptable. Now, on the front wheels, just like on the 350Rs, you have this ceramic heat reflective coating that gets sprayed on from the factory to help keep the heat away from the barrels of the wheels, basically if you're track driving the car, because those front rotors are 16.5 inches in diameter, so they are very big and they can generate a tremendous amount of heat. So this helps keep that heat away from the barrels that could potentially damage the carbon fiber. My understanding is that the carbon really can handle the heat, but this was just an extra layer of protection. It's supposed to knock 100 degrees off of the heat that's reflected onto the barrels from the brakes. The problem that you run into with this coating is it's very difficult to clean. This has a texture very similar to what basically concrete is, so you can't put anything soft on here like a microfiber, so you need to use something stiff. Even stiff bristle brushes don't really work too well. What I have found and used on my 350R is a very gentle pressure washer. Low pressure, not a gas pressure washer, not a high capacity pressure washer. Low pressure, 1,000 PSI, something really low that you would use on the body of the car to wash it. Does an excellent job taking all the dirt and grime off. There's usually about once a year I pull the wheels on the cars and do that. You can see this is starting to get pretty dirty now, because the unfortunate part is this being a high performance car with high performance brakes is that the brake pads shed a lot. They shed a lot of brake dust. So in order to keep these wheels absolutely beautiful and clean, you're going to be cleaning them a lot unless you want to go to an aftermarket brake setup, which unfortunately some owners have reported they lose a little bit of the snappiness and grabbiness of the brakes if you do some of the aftermarket brake pads. So you basically have to choose between, do you want the wheels to stay cleaner longer, or do you want maximum braking performance? That's kind of up to you. I run everything stock on this car. I run the stock pads. I run the wheels on the street. So I just deal with having to clean them a little bit more. And putting a nice ceramic coating on the wheels and just hitting that again with that electric pressure washer without a lot of pressure does a really good job of just knocking 90+% of that brake dust off, just with water alone. So I usually go around about every 100, 200 miles, I'll take that electric pressure washer. When I know I have a good ceramic coating on the wheel, just gently knock all that brake dust off the wheels. And they look pretty darn good, considering I basically haven't even touched them with any sort of soap or basically any sort of microfiber or wash mitt to get it off. So it does a good job. The other unfortunate part with these wheels is a lot of people are really petrified to drive these wheels on the street. I street drive the wheels on this car. I street drive the carbon fiber wheels on my GT350R. I think a lot of people are under the assumption that these wheels are weak and flimsy and should only be driven on a track. Can you crack a carbon fiber wheel? Absolutely. It's been done before. People have shown it on the internet. You can crack one of these wheels. Do I think that they are significantly more acceptable to being cracked than an alloy wheel is? I don't really think there is a big difference. There may be some difference depending on the construction of the wheel, the material, how thick the material is, but I don't think that these are abnormally susceptible to cracks and breaks. I've hit potholes. I've hit recessed manhole covers at highway speed with these wheels. No problems at all. I've hit them in both those cars, and I haven't had an issue with the carbon. I think Carbon Revolution has done a stupendous job with the wheels. I've seen some videos of them doing testing on various roads, cobblestone roads, potholes, hitting things. You can break them, absolutely, but I don't think that they are super fragile where you need to be overly worried about that. Are they expensive wheels? Yes. I think the wheels for this car, the front wheels, have an MSRP of around a little over $7,000. The rears are a little bit less because they don't have that ceramic coating on them. However, because they've been out for a while, you can not only can you get them used if you really needed to get an individual wheel or even a set of wheels, you can get them for significantly less than it would be to buy them for MSRP. But there's a couple Ford dealers on the internet that sell parts for a 35% discount off of MSRP. So you can get an individual wheel for around the $4,000 to $5,000 range for one of these cars. Is that expensive for a wheel? Absolutely. But there are plenty of high-end companies out there that make alloy wheels that are right around the same price or not that much cheaper. So they're expensive, but I'm not really worried about cracking one of these wheels. Fortunately, where I drive, the wheels are, the roads are pretty well maintained, and I have hit potholes here and there, but I'm not overly cautious, or not overly concerned, actually. I am cautious, but I'm not overly concerned that I'm necessarily gonna break one of these wheels. If it happens, I'll probably just go on, either order, get a really clean used one, or I'll just buy one new online from one of those Ford dealers that sells at a significant discount, and I'll just replace a wheel, and that'll be the end of it, and I'll just keep driving them. But I absolutely love these wheels. They really tie in the carbon fiber look of the carbon fiber track pack GT500s between the carbon fiber dash panel and the carbon fiber wing. They're an absolutely amazing look of these wheels. That you can't argue how beautiful carbon fiber. So many companies that make super high-end cars also do a lot of exposed carbon fiber parts, whether it's body panels or wings or all the various parts, and they're absolutely magnificent. And I absolutely love the look of these wheels through and through. So that's essentially what the front wheel looks like. The really only main break in the carbon is going to be this carbon fiber, this ceramic spray-on coating. And if you're curious what the back looks like, back is essentially the exact same setup. Only difference with the main difference with the rear wheel, aside from it being half an inch wider, you don't have the spray-on coating that you have on the front wheel. You still have that same metal hub on it with the sleeves for the lugs. It's the only metal on this wheel. This is all carbon fiber through and through, just like the front wheel is. And so you have a little bit more exposed carbon fiber on the barrel, and then you can see the back side of the spokes, everything's exposed. So it's all the same, beautiful woven carbon fiber look. A couple imperfections on the inside of the edge, on the inside that you don't see, no big deal. I did weigh these wheels. The front is about 49 pounds, the back's about 50 pounds, so wheel and tire together. So essentially the tire's heavier than the wheel itself. So absolutely beautiful. I love driving with these wheels. I really think it completes the look of the car. And I think Carbon Revolution has done an absolutely amazing job with these. And my understanding is they're going to be continuing their partnership with Ford, and they have a set of wheels coming out for the new Dark Horse Mustang that will be their 4th set of wheels that they have done for Ford. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.